Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful little Christmas dress. A really simple crochet stitch. I'll show you how to put this nice little trim on it. I've even got one of those little underskirts in here. I'll just grab it and pull it out. I've got a little underskirt that I've made, and there is a video on how I made that. It's really easy. I'll maybe add it in with this one as well. It's really easy how to do this, and I'm going to pop that back in there, and that'll go around your baby. You put that around the baby, and then you can put any dress. It'll go with any dress that you want. Now I'll just make it all nice and neat under there, and it does look nice once. It's because there's no baby in there. There's no baby in it, but I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful little bell dress. Now there is a video on how to make this angel shaped yoke. It's like a half hexagon, and that's your sleeves on it. I've got the trim around, and I've got a little ribbon on the back, and I've got my 4 buttons on. I'll show you how to do that little button band as well, and it's really pretty. You can actually have it that way. It's pretty that way with the buttons on the front, isn't it? So I've got the buttons to the back, and I've got this little clip-on bow. It's a little clip-on bow that I got on Amazon. It's a crocodile clip bow. Now, so I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful little party dress. Now you can use any yarn for it, and just use the hook size it tells you on your yarn label. Now with this one, underneath the video I'll put what different sizes it comes out with different hooks, because the easiest way to make this bigger or smaller is just to change the hook size. Leave the stitch count the same, so you can go from newborn all the way up to 1 year old just by going from a 3mm crochet hook and go up in stages to a 3. You can go up to a 4 or a 4.5, then a 5 or a 5.5, and that'll take you all the way up from naught then to 3 to 6 months, and 6 months to a year, just by changing the crochet hook size. And it is so simple. So we'll get on and I'll show you how to do this beautiful, simple, beginner's little Christmas dress. So we're going to start off by casting on 56 stitches, and I'm going to do a slip knot. Now if you can't do a slip knot, just tie it on by hand. So we're going to do a chain of 56 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got my 56 stitches. I'm going to go into the 4th stitch in the chain. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and do a treble crochet. If you're in the USA, that's a double crochet for you. These stitches are double crochets in the USA. So we've got 1 and 1, there's 2. We need 7. 1 into each stitch until you've got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 into the next one is 6, and 1 into the next one is 7. So into the next stitch we're going to build a corner. We're going to put 1 UK treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 more UK treble crochet, all into the same stitch. Now if you're in the USA, these are double crochets for you. So 1 into this next stitch, chain 2, 1, 2 and 1 more into the same stitch, and that's you made your first corner. We've made our first corner. I'll turn that this way because this is the way we're working. So that's us made this first corner here. We've done our stitches and we've done this first corner. Now we're going to work along. We're going to work 11 stitches along. So into the next stitch, don't count that as stitch 1, so into the next stitch, that will be stitch 1. 1, 2, we're working 11 along, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So into the next stitch you're going to build a corner again. So in between the corners here we've got 11 stitches. Don't count the corner. If you do, it's 13 stitches altogether. So we've got our corner, you've got your stitch, your 2 chain and your stitch. Then in between that we've got 11 stitches. And then we're going to build the next corner. Into the same stitch, put 1 treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 treble crochet. That's into the next stitch from that 11. So we've now got that corner done. I'll put that there. And this is what we're trying to achieve. So we've done that corner and then done that part and done that corner. Now we're going to go along this way and do this corner. We'll come along here and do that corner and then along. So now we're going along the front of the dress. This will be the front of the yoke or the front of your dress. Into the next stitch we're going to do from the next stitch along, we're going to put 14 stitches in. So don't count that stitch, don't count that one. So into the next stitch, that'll be stitch 1, we're going to go along 14, 2, 12, 13 and 14. Into the next stitch build a corner. That's 1 treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 treble crochet. Every time you get to the corner you'll put 1 treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 treble crochet. So now we're going to work along here. We're going to do 11 stitches. This is the other arm. So don't count that, don't count that one there. So from here, the next stitch, we're going to do 11. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So into the next stitch build your next corner. This is your last corner. 1 treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 treble crochet. So you'll have 4 corner spaces. You'll have 4 of these chains. And along here we should have 7 stitches left. So don't count that one. So into the next stitch we're going to work along for 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and and the last one is 7. And this is what you have. This is the start of your, fix that in, it's just the way it is. Once we've got a few more rows on, it'll sit in. Okay, and that's it here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, the equivalent of 4 corners. Now just disregard that, that's just my edge that I made, and that's it here. So we've got our 4 corners. So from this first stitch to this stitch here, we've got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if you want to do it that way. And then from this one to this one we've got 13. So from this space to this space we've got 16 altogether. You've got your corner stitch and then 14 in between, and then your corner stitch. And that's why I've not added them in, because that's the corner stitches that's there. These are going to increase as we make this sort of half hexagon. And then you've got your next set from the space to the space, you've got 13 stitches, and from that space to that last one you've got 8 stitches, and that's your corner. So there's your corners, and then you've got 7 stitches there. That's why I said it like that, because we're going to increase, we're going into the corner each time. So you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and turn your work. Now you're going to put 1 treble crochet into each stitch till you get to the corner space, and in there you're going to put 1 treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 treble crochet. Then work along these stitches, 1 into each stitch, and then do the corner. 1 treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 treble crochet. And if you're in the USA, that's double crochets for you. Work along to the next one, make a corner, work along, and you'll make a corner and work along to the end, chain 3 and turn, and do it again. You're going to do that for 10 rows. So that's row 1. I've got 9, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 all together on this one. So into the next stitch, I'll do this next row, and then I'll come back when I've got 10 rows done. So it's 1 into each stitch, and that's going to make the yoke in that half hexagon, and you can make so many different items with it. And in this red I'm going to make a little Christmas dress. So I'm at the corner and I'm going to put 1 treble crochet, 2 chain and 1 treble crochet. So I've got my 10 rows done of this little simple Christmas dress. I will go around it in white. Now I've used double knitting yarn, and it said to use a 4mm crochet hook. I used a 3.5 with this so that I could get the 0 to 3 month size. If you use a 5mm crochet hook, you'll get a larger size. Down in the corner at the end I'm going to put a link to the square yoke that I did, and it shows you the difference in the sizes by just going up or down a crochet hook size. So what I'm going to show you how to do next is I'm going to do a button band. Now I don't know whether you want to put your buttons on the left or the right, or the right to the left. I think with the the little top that I've got on, there's 2 buttons, and the buttons are on the left side and it's buttoned over that way. So what I'm going to do is, what you can do with this, it's fully reversible. I'm going to turn it around so that if I put buttons on this side, I'm going to put my button band on here. So it doesn't really matter. If you're going to do a cardigan for a boy, you can put it on either side. All you need to do is just turn that in the right way so that your band is going to be in the right place. So I'm going to do a dress, and it's easier to put the button band on just now. So I did my yoke with a 3.5 crochet hook, a 3.5. So I'm going to drop down to a 3. I'm dropping down a half size, and I'm going to put a row of treble crochets up here. And when the buttons are on this side, because the treble crochets will be facing that way, it'll be easy to get the buttons in. This is a really simple, easy little dress. You don't need to do it in red and white. You can do it in any colour you like. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So into that same long stitch there, I'm going to put 1 UK treble crochet. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA. I'm going to put 2 into each of these treble crochet lines, the posts of the treble crochets. I'm going to put 2 into each one and see what it looks like. Just push it through the stitch. Now at the very top, I'm going to go into the stitch proper, just to give it a proper little corner, and that's going to give me a little button band, so that if you put the buttons on this side, then you've got these stitches that you can pop your buttons through, and it makes a perfect little button band like that. So I'm going to cut that off there. Just pull my yarn through that loop, and then what I'll do is I'll stitch that in so you can't see it. So when I've done the button band, I dropped a half size, and that way you've still got your little overlap here, and your buttons will be down here like this, and that'll be your little overlap. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put 2 UK trebles into each stitch, and if you're in the USA, that's double crochets for you. If you're in the UK, it's a treble crochet. We're going to join this little button band. I've flipped it over to the right side. There will be a little lap over. So this is my stitch, and that's my button band, and I'm going to match that stitch up with the first stitch on the back like this. I'm going to put my hook right through there and join my yarn, so that way I've got that little overlap for the button band. I'll pull that tail over there, and we're going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Now you're going to go through that space again. We're going to put 2 into each stitch. and that's going to make a nice full little dress. Through the next stitch and through the button band as well, and put 2 in there, 1 and 1 in again, into the next stitch, and we're going through where the button band is. Oh, I didn't do my yarn over. And through there again, just catch that button band, and that's going to make sure that your button band is attached, and your buttons will be under here, and then you'll use that little button band to button it up. What we're going to do is we're going to work along to this first corner space, then we're going to join it to this corner on this side, and we'll work along the back. We're going to make the body of the dress. So into the next stitch you're going to put 2 treble crochets, 1 and 2, and if you're in the USA these are double crochets. 2 into the next one and 2 into the next one. This is what I'm going to thread my white ribbon around. I'm going to go in and out, in and out, in and out these stitches to make the center band for the ribbon. I'll show you that once we've got this done. Once we've got the dress completed, I'll show you how to put the ribbon on. So we're making the dress part, the little skirt that goes on the bottom. So 2 into each stitch till you get to that corner. So now I'm at the corner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find this other corner that's here. Now that's your sleeve. If we put this back together, it's a little bit fiddly to start with. Now that's the corner and that's your corner. That's going to be the sleeve, the little short sleeve. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in to this corner here, and I'm going to put my 2 treble crochets into that corner. Now I'm going to just slightly turn it. So that's your sleeve. We're bringing these together. Now from the inside here you're going to put 2 treble crochets in to this space, 1 and 2. That's going to join it and work our way along here, 2 into each stitch. So I'm at the next corner space and I'm going to join these 2 corners together to make my second sleeve. That's going to be the second sleeve. So I'm going to go into the corner space and put 2 treble crochets, 1 and 2. Then I'm just going to get this one, this corner here, and do the same. Put 2 treble crochets into that corner. Move to the next stitch and work along, 2 into each stitch, and that's going to give us that really nice bell bottom, a little Christmas bell dress. I'm going to work along to where I started. So I'm nearly at the end. I'm putting my second stitch in there. Now I'm going to slip stitch to the top of this one. I'll pull that out. And this is what we have so far. That is my button band. We're going to trim all this in white, remember. And this is going to be the bell part of the dress. I've got 2 UK treble crochets in each stitch. And this is where we're going to weave the white ribbon. We're going to weave it in and out, in and out, in and out, all the way around to gather this back in at the waist, and the bell will come down here. Now we're going to continue on with just doing UK treble crochets. I told you this is a very basic little dress, very basic, very simple, basic stitch. And what you're going to do is we're going to put one, I've got it facing me the right way round. So what I want to do is I want to have the back of my dress in line with here, not over here. I want it in line with here. So I'm going to slip stitch across to there, just so that the back seam of the dress is nice and straight down the back of, I've got one more to go, just so it keeps it in line with this button band. Where's my yarn? There we go. It's just so that it's in line with the middle of the back, so a slip stitch across to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it just so that I'm working always on the right side. And I'm going to chain just 2. Just chain 2. We're going to slip stitch when we've done each round. So into each stitch, from now on it's really easy. 1 treble crochet into each stitch. So I'm going to put 1 stitch into each one all the way around, and we're going to make the little dress part of this. Now you can have this dress short or long, it's up to you. You'll do the dress until it's the length that you want it to be. So I went around once with a UK treble crochet. That's a double crochet if you're in the USA. Now I'm going to slip stitch. We've only done a chain of 2 here. So I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that chain. Just do a slip stitch. So I'm going to chain 1 more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this really simple. So the full dress at the beginning, we just kept it very simple, very basic, so that for beginners and anyone else it's a really quick little dress to make. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you the front of this. This is the front of my dress. Now that's the sleeves. These are the sleeves, and this is the bell part of that little dress. Now it will sort of drop once we've got some of it done, but it'll be nice and puffy like a little Christmas bell. And I'm going to do it, where is my measuring tape? I'm going to do this little bell to about 8 inches. I'm going to do it to maybe about 8 inches. I'll see what it looks like at that. And that is about 20 centimetres. So we're going to do it that length. And that should bring it just below a baby's knees. So I've got my little dress finished. And this is what the back looks like. It's really pretty. Now I done 8.5 inches down on the skirt part of it. Now what I've got is I've got a little white clip-on little crocodile. If you go onto Amazon and you type in crocodile clip hair bows, then you'll find these. I'm going to put that in the middle so that you can take it off or you can leave it on. I've got some white 1/4 inch ribbon and I'm going to thread that through that row there of treble crochets. I'm going to go in and out and in and out, and I've got a pin to do that. I've got some white yarn. You can use any white yarn, and I'm going to use that as my trimming. So into the bottom, this is the back of the dress, and just into the bottom here I'm going to pull my yarn through, wrap my tail around just for a bit of security, and do a double crochet. Now if you're in the USA, these are single crochets. Now into the same stitch I'm going to do what in the UK is a double treble, and in the USA it's a treble. Wrap your yarn around your hook twice and go into the same stitch and pull through. Yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over and through 2 loops. Into the next stitch, do a double crochet. Into the next one, yarn over twice. I'm going to do that bigger stitch. Into the next one we're going to do a double crochet. That's a single if you're in the USA. And what it's going to do, it's going to leave these little baubles, almost like tiny little snowballs, on the right side of the dress. So we're working on the inside. We've got the inside here facing us. So the next one is going to be that double treble, and the next stitch a double crochet. It gives it a nice little edge, and I'm going to do that along the bottom as well. Just work my way around. I'll do it around the sleeves, and you get this nice little bobble along the edge. I'll go around the sleeves, but remember that when you do the sleeves, do it from the inside and work around. And the bottom of the dress, again, have the inside of the dress facing you, so that your baubles will end up on this side. They're little, like little berries. And I'm going to trim the whole of my dress with this white. So I'm working along the bottom of the dress just with that little berry stitch that I showed you. Now I've got all my tail ends to sew in as well. I've gone around, this is what it looks like, it's really pretty. I've gone around the collar of the dress, I've gone around the edges. I'll put my ribbon on, and I'm going around this back end of the dress. But remember, I'm working from the inside of the dress. So we're just working from the inside. So I've done a big stitch, so it's kind of like a big stitch and a little stitch. So yarn over twice and into the top of a stitch, and do that double treble, and then down into a double crochet. And what happens is it makes that bigger stitch go like a little mini bauble. And you can put fluffy stuff around the bottom of the dress if you want. It's up to you. You can stitch fluffy stuff. Now the white's kind of glaring in the sunshine. I'm going to do that all the way around the dress, stitching my ends, and then I'll quickly just show you how to in and out with the ribbon. I'm going to leave the tie for the ribbon at the back, but at the front of the ribbon, at the front of the dress, I'm going to clip on my little fake bow on at the front. So I've got the edges done. I've done that little pattern around the edge of the sleeves, around the back, and I've got my ribbon here. Now what I done is I put the ribbon on a big darning needle. It was a bit easier than that big safety pin I had. Now what I've done is I've just weaved the ribbon under 2, over 2, under 2 of these stitches. So that one went under, so I'm going to go over these 2 and then bring my needle out and up in between these 2 here, and then just pull your ribbon through and make sure it's nice and straight. Just twist it around the right way. So I'm going to go over these 2 stitches and under these next 2. Would you hold my ribbon here just so it doesn't twist back the way, and straighten the ribbon out. And straighten it out from underneath as well. Then I'm going to go down these 2 and up around this one. I'm going to take my needle off. I'll straighten this piece. Straighten that around so my ribbon's flat. Now I've got this part here. Keep a tail big enough to tie, and I'm going to do this one. Keep the tail big enough to tie in. I'm going to snip that end just into a tail, and to do that you just fold your ribbon over, fold your ribbon in half and snip out on a diagonal, and you end up with this little fork part. Throw that over there, and then that's going to give me, you can just tie that in around the baby, tie it in a nice little ribbon, nice little bow on the back. I've still got my buttons to put on. Now your buttons, you'll just put 4 buttons and sew them on, and then you push them through the holes in this button band that we put on. Got my little dress finished. My little underskirt will look much better once it's actually on the baby. That makes your little dress like this. It's a little higgledy-piggledy in there. But it makes this little underskirt like this inside the dress. I'm going to pull that out of there, and I've got a little underskirt like that. Now it is white, it's just it's dark outside, and you can put that on your baby, and then you can put any dress in with it that you want. It's just not sitting right because there's no baby in there. And this is what it's like, and it's really simple and really easy to make. So the little underskirt is, I got this, it's really soft tulle. It's called tulle. It's like a fine mesh netting, and you can get it for making tutus, you can get it for making wedding bows. Now I took four meter lengths, so I got I got off this whole roll. This was about £7 I think for all of this. There's masses and masses of it in there, so I'll probably have to give it to my sister and ask her what she can do with it. So what I've done is I took about a metre length, 3 times I think the width of my little dress. So that's the width of my little dress, and I've taken a metre length, and then I done 4 of them. I folded it over 4 times, so I've got 4 lengths of it. Oops, there's my needle, I need that. Now I don't have a sewing machine, so I had to hand sew mine together. So I'll get rid of this and I'll show you what I did next. So I took the 4 long lengths that I had and I folded it down like this. I folded 4 of them over together and I stitched along, leaving a gap. Now you can stitch it with a sewing machine if you've got a sewing machine, but I don't, so I had to hand sew it. And this is what I did. I did 4 of them. Got some little bit of thread stuck on here. I did 4 together and I just hand stitched it. So I've got 4 together. I don't know where it's picked up all these little pieces of white thread from. Get that out of there. So I stitched my 4 lengths together. Now just make sure that once you've done that, that your edges are nice and neat. You don't need to sew up the edges of this little underskirt. You won't see the edges once it's all joined together. So I've got myself, this is about 14 inches. It's about 14 inches of elastic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pin and I'm going to use it to thread the elastic through the middle where I folded it over, and I'm going to thread that through, and it's going to gather it all up. Now don't let that end go through as well, keep that end out. So just push it all through like this, and this is going to make my little skirt. It doesn't matter that it's opened at the edge, you're not going to see that once it's underneath your little crochet dress and on the baby. It's all going to pull together. Now just pull that through a little bit, keep that end. So I'm keeping that end on my hand. Ouch. Now be careful. Take my pin out. Now what I'm going to do with this is try and make sure I've got it together. And I'm going to sew it for a small baby. So I think I've got it too long. It's really soft, this elastic, and it's quite stretchy, so there's still quite a lot of stretch in that. Right, I want to take, ouch, I want to sew my ends in securely. Oops. Now it's just a very quick way to make a little underskirt. I'll turn it and go back the other way. Down through there and go back the other way. You're not going to see it, so it doesn't matter if it's not perfect, as long as it's secure. Now I don't use a sewing machine very often, that's why I don't have one. So I'm going to snip that off, put that aside so I don't lose it into my thread. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this, so that end is going to disappear in there. That little elastic end, just pull that through like that. So my little sewed in end disappears. inside there. Just give it a little pull through. There we go. So my sewed end is inside there, and that's you got your little underskirt. Look at that, you've got your 4 little layers. You can loosen them up a little bit. You've got your 4 little layers. Just pull it around, that's 1. There we go, that's 2. Loosen it down. And we've got 3 and 4. There we go. And then pull that one down. There we are. So it doesn't really matter about the ends. They kind of disappear in beside each other. And that's a little sort of tutu thing. It's going to go inside my little Christmas dress. So you put that on the baby. So you'll put that on the baby, and it'll be underneath your little Christmas dress like this. You can do more layers. If you want to do more layers, you can do more layers on it. Put my hand in there and pull that up the right way, and it gives your little dress some buoyancy. So I've got my little dress finished. My little underskirt will look much better once it's actually on the baby. And this is the beautiful little crochet dress. I'll show you the back of it. And I've just got, oh, my little bows came out here. I've got a little bow tied with this ribbon. And I've got my buttons on the back. And this is what it's like. And it's really simple and really easy to make. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and if you click on the bell icon, YouTube will tell you when I put up another tutorial. This has turned out really, really pretty. Look at that.